easily a frustrated person. Right, so I thought I'd show off for scale a TARDIS lamp so far. I'm sure you've seen this a million times, but I'm really proud of that. I will eventually, like I say, I will redo this part because there's the seam line when I add the mould, but now that I know I don't need a solid mould, I can just have the out part and just brushing resin and then UV light. So I will eventually do this because of the bubbles in it. Benny, you're in the way. Go on. And as you probably saw from last time, this probably eventually will get fiberglassed in to make sure it's bonded so it doesn't fall off, but the body filler's working. And that lid was custom made. All these parts, such as all these and the handles, were from B&Q and B&M for these handles, which worked out really quite nice. I didn't like the brass, but I changed them to being a metallic. I liked the metallic fin because it's based on the Matt Smith box, if you couldn't tell. And then this was made from fiberglass. This, believe it or not, I had to borrow, and I will put it back together, was borrowed from a lamp stand, a brass lamp stand, and then this section here, the lip, if I can get my hand in view, the lip part is actually a ceramic plate. Obviously this isn't it because I took a mould from the part and then made a fiberglass copy. And then I think that looks, I'm really happy with that. So that is so far the TARDIS lamp, and then this will be bolted. Oh my god, stop, come on. And it's all held with screws with these parts holding everything together, and this is just, this could turn, but I'm not going to do anything with it. And it will be faced, that's the front, and then the lid will get finned down. It's one of those pressure fit fins, but it gives it a bit of character and charm that it doesn't sit flush sort of thing. I'll have to keep like adjusting it somehow, but it's a prop, it's not meant to be perfect. And then, like I say, this part then will be bolted onto the roof, which I am on with the roof, and I haven't told anyone about it, but it is in the living room, not kitchen. It's only made the top bit. I haven't made the step design yet because that's going to be made from insulation board. And when I fiberglass the entire fin, I will then be flipping it upside down, and the roof, I've decided how I'm having this TARDIS built will be more like a flat pack piece. It's very hard to describe because I'm still not perfect at TARDISes. This is my second one now. When the roof goes down like that, I found out it then continues down for a bit, and then because I'm basing this off a classic TARDIS, more like, it goes down a William Hartnell box. It's more like the walls continue down, and then the signs will be attached to the void bits, and then that basically slides down into the posts. I've now learned, so I've been looking into like how a TARDIS is properly built and how they're put together. And when it's all built, the posts are going to be like, I think 100mm square guttering pipe, with then extra additional parts for when the walls sit flush, they have something to butt up against. They'll then have some solid wood, either like 4-inch, your standard 4-inch pillars, slotted in, fiberglass to either top and bottom so no water can get in, because I'm then going to notch out in the tops of them, like when you buy a bed, for wooden post joists to go in. The idea I've got is the roof with the signs will be one piece, so when that slots on, the signs will stick out ever so much that they'll slot around the posts, if that makes sense. So then that locks everything in place top wise. The way that the entire framing of the fin base will have the 4 square holes in each corner. The posts get slotted in like you were making a fence in the ground, and then so that they don't sway side to side or fall in on themselves, I don't know what you call the part where we call them the steps, I think the fandom calls them, of the TARDIS underneath the sign will be wood, fiberglassed all the way around. Then I will make a plaque of the step design out of fiberglass, which will get screwed on each 4 of them. And then when the posts come together, they will have routed out some little notches. So when these joists go in, they lock it in place and hold it at its correct size. And then to hold everything in place, then bolts and screws, bungee cords are going to be holding the piece in place. I do a lot with my hands when I'm explaining, but yeah, that's the idea of the TARDIS section, of how everything, and then the walls, rather than last time where the roof fitted on top of the roofs and just was held by gravity. She's going in my pocket again. The walls just get slotted in. No weight is holding on top of them. It's all just for show, basically. And then they'll get pushed in, and then either some little screws, tack screws, will then hold everything in place. Because I've got to imagine this has got to go back and forth if I want to bring it into the house. Anything like that. Still on with the TARDIS. I'm pretty much coming up to the end. I could show off other parts, but other parts are like all dusty and the rest of it's downstairs. You've seen the door, which I need to finish off and then make a mould of. I don't know if that'll be the next stage or if I'm going to get on with the roof next and fiberglass that. And when I get on with the roof, when I fiberglass it, to make this as light as possible, I am then going to take all the contents out once I've got the shape and I've body filled it, sanded it, made it look really nice. I'll then take all the interior out. I might put a piece of wood inside, like some thin 18mm, but not too thick. And that is so that the fisheye hooks for the bungee cords to loop round can pull the fin back down, and then it'll be re-fiberglassed again for strength. So yeah, there won't be a lot of wood inside the box, but there'll be, it's a one-off prop. If I ever have to build another one, I'll then have an exact one to copy from. And then the other thing, well, now that I've been thinking about this being metallic blue, I did think of other parts. I was like, what else could be metallic blue that I like? Or should I just keep the lamp metallic blue? Because I was thinking, because I grew up on the 80s Doctor Who, their sign boxes were blue, contrasting with the box, but then again mine's a William Hartnell-esque box or Met box, and should I go for the black? I just don't know if I'm overthinking it or if I should just keep this, the metallic, this being the point of view of the only part being metallic. I don't know, I'm still unsure, but if not, they'll still be black. And then the handles, again, when I did my first one, it was more of a gothic TARDIS, whereas this time I'm trying to go for more of it's a Matt Smith box, but it takes the shape of a original TARDIS, a original police box, but very slender, if that makes sense. That's what I'm trying to go for. So when I was looking at pictures of official Glasgow ones, I wanted handles that reflected of the time, and what I've come up with, which these are quite nice. And I thought there were 3 on a TARDIS, but there isn't. There's one for so this being and they are really nice polished chrome. This would be for the pull to open handle, and then this one being a bit bigger, ever so slightly, and it has a more squarer flange. That's a better view. Those are the handles, and these are pretty much in full scale. They're quite expensive, and then they have little fins which will get glued down anyway. But yeah, I saw them and I thought they'll look nice for the TARDIS as well. Anything else on the TARDIS? Oh, and then the other thing, windows, I'm still making them. I'm still trying to figure out how they're going to be built. I know I want them to be moulded like I attempted ages ago, but this time properly done and more rectangle. But I'm with the window effect. Instead of it being the 3 black and 1 black at the bottom and then the 2 pebbled glass, I'm still going to have the pebbled glass, but I'm trying to go for the Metropolitan box, where it's going to be 2 pebbled glass, which wherever I find, I still don't know if I'm looking for something else or if I've found something that I like. And then the one in the middle, the rest of them at the top are going to still be clear, either fluted glass oh well, not fluted glass, like fluted plastic that you get for your canopy sort of thing. That fluted type plastic, like the Jodie Whittaker box. And then the one in the bottom, 2 pebbled, and then the one in the middle I'm thinking I'm going to have tinted blue. Like what I've done with my bathroom window, if you've seen that. Or if I just get a sheet of blue plastic and submerge it in the epoxy, because I think I'm going to make them from epoxy. Well, the outer bits being polyester, the frame, and the struts, or maybe no, they'll probably just be all epoxy. Do a slow pour of epoxy with the pebble glass inserted and whatever bit I'm using for the blue. I do like that look. So from going from the TARDIS, because we've gone on about that for like a good, doesn't tell me how long I've been doing it, but I assume 5 minutes. I thought the bit that I've been on with, and I know it's not accurate before anyone says I've done something wrong, I have done something wrong, but I'm just going to live with it. I did say these are meant to be fan built props, so you've probably seen I'm not very far with it, because as you've probably known with what's been going off, and everything's still a mess. So this, well, there's the Dalek. If I can point this and get a good view. So that's so far the skirt. And don't worry, with this plinth, I know on the special weapons it does sit low because it's just overlapping the skirt. I am going to add, when I've made the fiberglass one, there's going to be a plate of plywood inside to lift this up to still make the skirt look tall. I've been making a start on bits of it, and those are the final positions of the hemispheres, and they are, for scale, they are 7 centimetres in diameter. So they are, when my mum came round the other day, she was actually shocked. She said, it is a bit of a tidgy Dalek, isn't it? It's quite small. And I said, yes, it is, I guess, when you've been used to seeing big ones for so many times. But I still fit inside. My legs literally do touch up against that, but until it's on wheels, we'll never know until, you know, I wanted this to fit through a doorway anyway. So that, and as you probably saw, there's the top half still in the works. So it's still going slowly. I've been on with loads of different projects, and then things have been happening, as you probably know. So I've not been able to just go straight forward at everything. But anyway, the video of why this video is made, again, take it with a grain of salt. I may change it, I may not. At the minute, I'm just done with this part because I want to move on to something else. But this, so far, now again, yes, I could point out the flaws that's wrong with it, but at the minute, I'm quite happy with it. I've still to finish the end and hide these struts to make it look more, you know. But this, believe it or not, roughly is full size to the actual special weapons of the part, so it is going to look a bit big on this Dalek, but you know what? I'm not too bothered because it's made to look, and it is on the slowest setting, it is made to look like a fan built, so everything like...
excuse me, what the actual fuck? Disgusting!
Certain proportions are going to be a bit more exaggerated, let's say. So what it is, if I can point out every part, I think we'll start with the drum first. So this drum, I took it to work. It was one of my old filler trays, and again, oh sorry, it is wrong because this should stick out a bit more with this being in proportion. This is in proportion to the Dalek, but because all these other parts are full size pretty much to the real thing, it does make this section look small. So what it was, it's just a normal drum. This side I do need to fill out with some wood and then body fill. It's just rivets that have been riveted at work. Then this section, these parts pretty much from here to here and in between the two discs and this piece are all from B&Q. If I can find which ones it was, I did have to do a bit of customising with it, which was, if I can hold it, and it is quite light compared to the other this section here was originally like a fillet design rounded over, so I've gone with a rasp and beveled it at 45 degrees. This section here is just rubber, so this does move, so if a slight bit of anything gets knocked, and you're probably thinking, why is the end black and then this has got like a dry brush of gold? I'm trying to make it, it's still not finished, but I'm trying to make it look as it did in the story. It's not pure black from the pictures, from what I've gathered. So it's more like a, and it is a bit messy as well, because this is just pure body filler to glue parts. But again, no one's going to be looking up this close to the prop when you're out and about on location. Where was I going? Yeah, it's, well, in certain lighting it looks a bit like bronze or gold. I know the end is like closely pure black, but I'm going to eventually build it out to get in more dustier. And that's so far, oh, I'm too close. And that's so far, that section being B&Q parts. I'll have to find out what it is on the receipt and get pictures so you can see what it looked like. These parts, when I went to my workplace, I think I can turn that off now. When I went to work, but it was too early, I just went looking around in this, and this is a big Asda as well. It's like what you see in America when they have a massive mall, and it had like escalators going down. And I had a look in there. If you live in Bramley or you know the area, I saw these plates that, because originally I used those planter trays that were just way too big. So there you got a whole sword through the middle of both of them. This part is a guttering piece, but I took 2 back today because I thought I was going to need 3 of them to sandwich these discs in between. But again, and I like to say it is incorrect in places, but I'm not too bothered because it's, I don't even know how much this prop is going to get used in the trailer anyway, with me going on about it all the time. I haven't got a script or anything of what I've got an idea, but I know I need to have special weapons with the 4 Imperials. You know, I'm doing all this for literally a 40-second trailer, but you know what? I don't care. At the end of the day, I get to keep them, and I may eventually change it to be a bit more accurate. And some people were thinking, so why is there 3 discs on this compared to the official prop having the 4? And again, because this is not a 1-to-1, because I can't get the parts as accurate as I want to the original, this has 3 of the whatever you call these parts. So I thought it only makes sense, because the original prop had 4, but this one only has 3. I thought this would only have 3 as well. And again, this should be closer to here, which is the mistake I've made. But you know what? I've spent enough money already, and I'm just gonna have to roll with it. And I think it looks okay for what it is. You know, I've tried to make it look as decent. These rods this time, instead of me when I did my one at home, where I got tubing and then bent it and then it created a flat edge, which it didn't have the rounded look because it was hollow piping. These are parts that were already made from their handles as well, but I don't know where they came from, but they're aluminium and they've been bent into place, and they're all identical. And it was as easy as just drill some holes and super glue them this time in place. And then for these parts, they look crap when, you know, when you're building something, like myself, when you're building something and it's bright coloured plastic, until you then paint it in like a metallic or a black, it then looks the part, which, yeah, I'm kind of happy with that, because when I was looking at it, I was thinking, this looks shit, this looks terrible. And then as soon as paint goes on, it does make a massive difference to what it's meant to look like. And these were the fiddly part, because these are from the bottom of some cups. And mind you, not very strong cups. Compared to these being very solid, these were like maybe 1 mil thick, and some of them have cracked, and I'm not going to show. But underneath, pretty much all the ugliness is on the underside, because no one's going to be looking underneath. So in order to keep these pieces separated from each other, pretty much, and keep them in their position like an eye stalk, I just thought, well, I can't afford to go out and get some more PVC tubing that fits snug, because it's a nightmare trying to find pieces that fit together perfectly. So the clever solution I thought was using the same material here, cut them into small parts and then use scissors to snip them, and then they'll sort of bend over the top. So I said I wasn't going to show it, but for now you can kind of see, just there, that one's easier to see. There's a gap because this is having to fit over the top of this diameter, and it works for this one-off prop because, again, you imagine this is going to be seen for I don't even know how many seconds. It may do some public appearances, it may not, I don't know. It's just one of those one-off props that, depending on what I do, I mean, I keep everything once I've done it, but it may be one of them Daleks that goes out into the wild. Maybe I sell it on, maybe I don't know. I'm never going to get my money's worth back from everything I've done, but I just want to make this fan film. And I say fan film, it's going to be more of a trailer than anything. If I can do the whole thing and I can get some people to help with it, then maybe I could do a full film. I'll obviously keep the props and everything, but everything I'm going to be filming will be just for a trailer. I'm not doing a script or anything like that. It's just for one-off shots to recreate the paradigm. I can show off maybe just a little bit because I'm nowhere near to finishing even that. And here it was. I were on with this for a bit and then nothing happened, and I'm still on with parts. And then I was doing a paradigm, which I was going for the full look of the dome with it being the rounded effect, and then this has just been sat in the background for God knows how long, and I'm still redesigning the parts because I'm still not happy with it. So I'm still thinking of how that's going to go, but I thought at the time I'll just get on with the Imperials and get them sorted. And as you've probably seen, like I say, the Imperial top half, I am proud of it, even though it's going very slowly. And the skirt I'm very proud of, but again, like I say, I'm using this one as the special weapons because there's a lot of things to fix here and there. But I'm very happy with, yes I can, if you're still seeing, so I'm very happy with this now being joined to this section, which is a first. The sharp edges, and it is a mess at the minute, so do excuse that. The gold though, I did find some, and I don't know where the hemisphere is, but these are the ones that are actually fixed on to the fin this time. So they're the ones, and I haven't got very far in that box over there. Lengthwise, with all this weight, probably make the fin droop, which I've had to butcher, and I'm having to refix because it was originally here because it was a full size one. About. And then I'm having to drill that eventually out pretty happy for it. Snapped, and then I have to get a bit of a paradigm from ages ago. We've got a bit of an Imperial Dark Dremel of some sort to Dremel all that out, but then that's the gun, so I've saved on that. The TARDIS. I guess the other thing I've accidentally shown off and given a sneak fin was I have been working on the model shop. We've got a full Dalmatian here, so that's good. For a bit. But like I said, damaged or anything, they're all still around the house slow because of just what's been going on at the minute. You can still see Cam's legs in the back. So anyway, I will edit this and then I'm going to have to edit it and then put the highlights onto YouTube. So I will see you whenever next. So the next bit I think I will be doing will be, it will either be the TARDIS roof or the special weapons just sat on there. And again, I have not got anywhere with this house since I last left anything. So, but there it is on the display case. Eventually it will be on, like, I don't know where I'm going to do it. It's still going to have the Imperial. I've had to create a curtain at the minute to make sure light doesn't come through there, so when they're sleeping. I am still going to have the Dalek on there when I get around to it and have all this fixed up. So yeah, it doesn't look like I've got very far away anything, and the Daleks are still there. And eventually I'm going to have them all taken out of that and have a proper display case. That's the special weapons off to the side, if I can show the gun. Which I'm very proud of. To say, the last ones I made were not as, were not as detailed as that and were like bits of wood. Whereas this is more plastic and metal, and it's lightweight as well, so I'm very happy. I was going to put some sort of dowel of wood inside to make sure it doesn't. I might still have to do that because if it's out in the heat, I keep pointing wrong. If it's out in the heat, I don't want the part to, because this is just PVC plastic, and all this weight on it